Hi guys, and welcome to another video. My name is Julie, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the gathering knowledge versus actual experience of awakening. And I believe we live in a world that is we're very conditioned and programmed to gather knowledge and to create a story about who we are in this world, right? And it's just like the mind is creating a lot of snapshots, and that it makes it construct a story about who we are in relation to others, in relation to the past, in relation to all these ideas we have about the world. And we do that in a sense as an attempt to control, because we can't really control what's going to happen in the next moment. But in an attempt to try to control this, we try to create a story about who we are that will protect us from this world. Okay. So it's very like we create this filter as a way of control and a way of fear. And we even do that with regards to spirituality. So many of you watching this video have had an awakening, and others might not have, but might be interested in it and feel called to watch these kinds of videos. But this is something that happens both before and after awakening, is that the mind creates a self. It constructs the self on the story, like on a storyline. Okay, and it constantly look for proof and validation and reconstruction of the self. And after awakening, it feels really uncomfortable and painful because we know that it's not authentic. We know that it's not real, and it doesn't really give us what it used to give us before awakening. And it's actually the cause of suffering. But we still tend to fall into the trap of creating a storyline. The mind creates a storyline for us. We're just watching it about the person that wakes up and go on this journey to, I don't know, become something, right? The perfectionist state is already perfect. So there's nothing you really need to do or fix or change, but we cling on to that in a sense of trying to reconstruct the self, trying to relive the form that we create. And it's all a fantasy. It's not really what's actually going on. And the true freedom is found when you let go of that idea and you can just be, right? Like children, just enter this present moment with and respond to whatever's going on in the actual right now. Instead, we gather knowledge about spirituality and we gather ideas about spirituality. And we think we're on this journey, and we start to, in some sense, we are, because if you're here, you're in a process, I would say, that is, that you're not even in control of, because it's going on and then you're experiencing it, right? But there's a tendency to create a story and gather knowledge and find a self there. And you can even become like, in a sense, competitive or like opponents. You can look at religions, right? Maybe religions and spirituality is not really the same thing, but if you have beliefs about spirituality, it's actually somewhat religions. It's like a religion because it's in the mind. Okay, true spirituality, or you can use the word however you want to, but true awakening, it has nothing to do with anything you believe. It's completely irrelevant. It's what's actually going on, and you can believe anything. But you might not even need beliefs because there are just stories, right? And you will start to see through them. So in our culture, we are very, very, conditioned and programmed. I'm talking about the Western culture. This might be all over the world, like Asian culture, maybe also. Like we're very conditioned to be knowledgeable. There's a lot of identity in our knowledge base, and we're constantly looking for that identity and to prove it to others, in a sense. It's a part of social control, right? So it can fall on the other side, and I think many people, maybe even most, fall into that at some point, because the ego is still active, and the ego is still it's still creating narratives. It's still creating a separate self from everything else. It still goes on with a fantasy. So it's a matter of seeing through that and realizing that there's all the snapshots and all the experience I've gathered that are spiritual. Maybe you did, I don't know, plant medicine, or maybe you went on a retreat, or you had some insight, right? And you create a story about it that you bring into the now, in the mind, you bring it into the now, and you create a self based on that, right? And that's very, very natural and very normal, I believe. But that's something that we can snap out of and start living more with true presence, which is just responding to what is, being with what is, including the thoughts, right? No resistance. And that's what I had for today. I hope it made sense, not in the mind, but from your direct experience. And you can watch my free masterclass in the link down below. And you can also leave me a comment below and let me know how your experience is. And if you feel like this resonated with you, if you can distinguish between knowledge about spirituality and the actual experience of waking up. Until next time, much love and namaste.